Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick morning yoga routine just to get yourselves up and going and getting your bodies moving and ready for the day. To begin, we're going to start off standing at the top of our mats, keeping our feet hips distance apart, closing our eyes. As you just take a few deep breaths in and out, just settling in and preparing. Once we're ready, open our eyes, take a deep breath in as we raise both our arms up, pressing our palms together. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. Breathing in for a halfway lift, keeping our back straight. And then as we exhale, placing our hands on the mat, placing our feet back into plank, holding for a breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to lower our bodies, placing our knees onto the mat, slowly bringing our chest and chin to the floor, untucking our toes as we inhale for up for a cobra, keeping our elbows close to our ribs. And then as we exhale, pushing our bums back into a downward facing dog. Inhaling, bringing our feet to our hands, bringing up for another halfway lift. Before exhaling, coming back down for a forward fold. Finally, inhaling to standing up straight, hands going up, and exhaling, bringing our palms to heart center. Going again a little bit faster. Inhale as our hands go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale to plank. Inhale to as we hold. And exhale, either placing our knees on the mat again or keeping them straight as we lower our bodies down again. Inhale either for cobra or up dog. Exhale to push back into downward facing dog. Holding for a breath. And then as we exhale, walking our feet to our mat, top of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Finally, inhaling to stand back up straight, hands up. And exhale, hands to heart center. One last time. Inhale to hands up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to plank. Hold as we inhale. Exhale to lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your back bend of choice. Exhale to push back into downward dog. Hold for an in-breath. Exhale to bring our feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. And then inhale, stand up straight, hands up. Finally exhaling, bringing our palms to heart center. Now moving on, we're going to go back down into a plank. Holding for a breath before lifting our hips up and pushing back into a downward facing dog. Can give you a few moments here just to walk your dog out, bending one leg at a time, making sure your head hangs nice and loose, keeping your back as straight as possible. And then when you're ready, meet me back in stillness. As we take a deep inhale, lifting our right leg up for three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our knee to our chest, crunching our abs before placing our foot between our hands. Holding for breath, making sure we have our balance before finally pushing up. So inhale for high crescent lunge. Holding for breath, making sure our legs are nice and stable, hips are square. Finally opening our arms up, placing our back heel down, opening our arms up, right hand forward, left hand back for warrior two. Making sure our hands are in line with each other. Holding for full breath in and out. For finally flipping your front palm, leaning slightly forward, throwing your hand back over your head. Your left hand either can go down your back thigh or wrap around for half a bind for a reverse warrior. Holding for a breath. Before bringing your arms back into warrior two, windmilling your arms back down to frame your front foot, taking back into a plank, and then lowering down for your vinyasa. Exhaling to lower, inhale for back bend, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Moving on to the other side, lifting your left leg up now for three-legged dog, keeping your leg nice and straight. Exhaling as we bring our knee to our chest, placing it between our hands, making sure we have our balance before lifting our hands up. High crescent lunge, holding for a breath. Finally opening up into warrior two. Holding as we flip our front palm, leaning slightly forward, throwing our left hand over our head, either keeping our right hand on our back leg or wrapping around for a bind. Holding for a breath. Finally opening back up to warrior two. Windmilling our arms back down, to frame our front foot, kicking back into plank, and then vinyasa down. Inhale to go up, and exhale to push back into downward facing dog. Starting with our right leg again, kicking up, this time bending your right leg and stacking your right hip on top of your left hip as we go in for split dog. Hold as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring our right foot back to our right hand, placing it next to our right pinky toe for lizard. Giving some movement just to try and open up your hips. Finally, keeping your left hand grounded onto the mat, lifting our right hand up for lizard twist. You can either keep your back knee above the mat or you can lower it down, whichever is most comfortable. Holding for a breath. Finally, making sure you put your weight on your legs, keeping your left hand as light as possible. Before finally lifting your entire body up for a revolve twist. Holding, and then as placing our right hand onto our back leg, throwing our left hand over our head. Bringing our left hand down, letting our right hand meet it, taking our leg back into plank, and then vinyasa flow. Breathing in for back bend, and then exhale to back into downward dog. Now left leg going up, bending our knee, stacking our left hip on top of our right for split dog. Then as we exhale, we're going to bring our left leg now to our left hand, placing it down for lizard. Getting some movement in, getting the blood flowing. Now keeping your right hand grounded onto the mat, bring your left hand up. When you're ready, making sure your right hand is light off the mat, bring your whole entire body up for a twist. Then bring your left hand down, right hand over your head. As you exhale, bring your right hand down, left hand to meet it, kicking your left leg back into plank. And for the last time, going down vinyasa. Exhale, inhale to push up, and exhale to push back. Now, from here, we're going to meet up in the standing position in the middle of the mat. Open your legs up slightly wider than hip distance apart. And from here, we're going to slowly lower our hips down into a squatting position, either keeping your toes facing forward or at a 45-degree angle. Placing your right elbow on your right knee, left hand on your left knee, slowly pushing your hips open as we push our left shoulder forward, and then looking to the right. Moving on to the other side, left elbow on left knee, right hand on right knee, pushing the right shoulder forward. Finally, bringing our legs up straight, toes facing forward, placing our hands on our hips, keeping a nice straight back as we hinge our bodies forward, leaning forward until we can go no further, and then just relaxing our arms down to the mat. Now, if possible, placing our fingers onto the mat, but walking our hands to the right, into the right foot, and making sure your legs are as straight as possible as you try and pull our bodies to the right, being a nice stretch in our right leg. Remembering to breathe before moving on to the left side. Finally, coming back to center, opening your legs slightly wider as we bend our right knee, keeping our left knee straight as we go to a side lunge or skandasana. Trying to, if possible, keeping your hands off the mat at heart center, or if you need the support, keeping them on the mat, on the floor. Holding for a breath. Before moving on to the left side, left knee bent, right knee straight, toes facing up. If possible, trying to bring your heel onto the mat and bring your hands up if your body accepts it. Finally, coming back, keeping both knees bent, heel toeing your feet slightly closer together as we lower our hips down for yogi squat. Placing both our elbows onto our knees and pressing open, being a nice stretch in our groins. Now, moving on onto all fours, making sure we're nice and even, hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We're then going to lift our left leg up, bringing it forward, placing our left knee by our left hand and kicking our right foot to where our left foot to where our right hand is, making sure our right leg is untucked as we slowly slide our foot back into pigeon pose. If it's accessible to you, you can try and lift your hands up, keeping your whole upper body supported, maybe even cactusing your arms up, making sure you can feel nice, stretching your back, holding for a breath, before finally placing your hands down, sliding forward into a forward fold. rest and feel the stretch in your legs. Pushing back up, moving on to the other side, bringing your right knee up, placing your left leg next to it, and now lifting your right leg up, bringing your right knee to your right hand, kicking your right foot to your left, and tucking your left foot and slowly sliding forward, sliding it back, making sure your upper body is nice and supported, lifting arms up into a cactus if it's accessible, holding for a breath, before finally folding forward over your right leg. Pushing back up. We're now going to move onto our backs, keeping our legs bent, bringing them close to our bums as possible. If able, you can even touch your heels if you can. Then from here, we'll move onto a bridge pose, making sure our feet are nice and grounded. We're going to start off by slowly lifting our hips, followed by the small of our back. And lastly, one vertebra at a time, we're going to slowly lift our upper bodies to become straight. If you wish, you can even lift your heels off the mat and then grasp your hands underneath. Holding for 2 full breaths. Before finally releasing your hands, placing your heels back onto the mat if they were off the mat, and slowly lowering your back down. And from here, we can straighten our legs as we prepare for Shavasana. Letting our whole bodies relax, letting our feet fall to the side, fingers open, as we just keep calm and feel our breath in and out. Bringing ourselves back into our bodies, wiggling our fingers and our toes, moving our legs from side to side, and keeping our eyes still closed. We're going to slowly sit up, keep sitting on our heels or crossing our legs, placing our hands on our laps in a comfortable position. As we take in one last deep breath and release as we prepare for our day. Thank you for joining me for my class. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.